Hello, welcome to the very first episode of our Running Redwood podcast. My name is Kira Bixler.
I'm Bella Aldridge.
I'm Donya Akhavon.
And we are joined today by our very first guest,
Donya Akhavon. Hi.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So to start off, this Running Redwood podcast is all about people here at Redwood who are very involved and how they are able to live a successful life as a high school student. So first off, what are you involved in?
So currently I am the president of FBLA. I'm a co-president for the Middle Eastern Club, and I'm a co-president for Generation Green.
Interesting. Awesome. How do you stay involved in all of that?
I think a lot of it is just investments throughout the years. So, you can't just get promoted to a position just from 1 year. You have to really show that you're dedicated and that you want to be somewhere. And over time, that really shows, and, therefore you kind of get where you want to be.
Definitely. So, what's your routine? I mean, you're a senior now, and you've kind of gone through all the years of Redwood. Have you developed some sort of thing to keep you on top of your work, or to manage, all the clubs and extracurriculars that you do?
I think it's all about just finding your limits. Mm-hmm. So life is very unpredictable. You're going to have a lot of physical curveballs. You're going to have a lot of emotional curveballs. So you have to find, where can you push yourself so that you improve a little bit every day without, burning out.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. So consistency, I think, is the biggest thing, instead of just completely immersing yourself in everything you can possibly, So it's really just that balance.
Definitely. That's awesome.
Speaking of focus, how do you stay well-rounded? It can be very difficult to manage everything and make sure that you aren't too focused on school and all your extracurriculars and vice versa.
I think I just try and look at my overall happiness. I think when you feel content with yourself, it's because of accumulation of things. It's not just, one sector of your life. If you only focus on school, you're going to feel deficiencies in other areas. Mm-hmm. So I try and look at my life through a very eagle-eye lens and see where am I in this present position, and what do I feel like I'm not putting enough focus on. Mm-hmm. And having that kind of well-rounded, just having, putting time into everything really makes me feel happy. So I kind of just base that off of how I feel,
Mm-hmm.
It makes a lot of sense, and it works. What do you find to be the best ways to be involved?
First, think about what you like to do. You don't want to you don't want to dedicate your time into something that you're not interested in. So, of course, you might not even know you're interested in something without trying it out. So be open to anything and everything, but think about what truly resonates with you, what you really like to do, and then just go after that. There's so many opportunities on campus. You just have to go out and find them, right? So, sorry, I forgot the question.
You're good. No, so so you're a senior now, right? And then you kind of had your COVID year with freshman year, it got cut short, and then you had your sophomore year, which was just completely, and then junior year come and you were returning to a normal.
Right.
So how do you feel you've your schedule has varied across these years, and what have you learned as an individual and, as a classmate, a student, just what have you acquired from this?
I think that change is inevitable. Sometimes you're ready for it, and sometimes you're not. Mm-hmm. So just be kind to yourself, stay consistent, do what you like to do, because, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a moment where you look back and you think all of that hard work, all of those problems, every issue that came up, whether it was during the pandemic, that was a really difficult time for everyone. But, at the end of the day, there's going to be some good that comes out of it. Mm-hmm. So if you take every little day at a time, it's all gonna end up being something nice,
Yeah, and I definitely resonate with what you're saying, because it makes so much sense. I mean, everybody had their own experiences and underwent everything, and I think that taking in a kind of glass half full perspective is really helpful.
Yeah, for sure.
So speaking of all those curveballs life can throw at you, how did you get to where you are now? Were there any moments or lessons that you learned along the way that really define who you are as a person?
I think just taking a chance in things. A lot of what I have now is because I very spontaneously decided to do something, and that's kind of my whole point, and that's kind of my whole like quote in life is kind of just take it every day, or take life one day at a time. So, putting in a little bit of energy and effort into something small will eventually, accumulate into this big thing, right?
Yeah.
So I think just, take a chance, YOLO. What do you have to lose?
Yeah.
The worst thing that can happen right now is that a bomb drops on us and we all die. So, life is short. You might as well live. You might as well do what you want. And if it's scary, so what? There's plenty of scary, uncomfortable things that exist in our lives. But when you're old and you're on your deathbed, do you want to look at your life and think, wow, I lived such an exciting life, not getting out there, not doing anything, not taking risks? Like, that's not a fulfilling life. You know? You have to put yourself out there. And my favorite quote, I don't know if, should I wait and give my favorite quote?
No, you could go for it now.
Right.
Do it.
Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's my favorite quote. And I think about that every day. There's so many situations I put myself in that I don't want to be in. Like, a lot of what I have right now is a product of pushing myself and being in a position where I'm not comfortable at all. But I think about the bigger picture. I think about, where do I want to be in life? Where do I want to look back on? And why should I, But I think we just got to take these risks because at the end of the day, it's very rewarding.
Yeah,
So.
Definitely. I'm so happy you shared that with us. Like, the perfect, like, montage monologue. So great.
Literally. So when you're looking at the stuff that you do, how much time and passion, like, how much time do you put into all that you do? Whether it be, like, for FBLA or anything else.
FBLA is definitely, it takes up a pretty good chunk of my time, but it's not doable at all. I really enjoy it. So I think it depends on the season, I guess. Right now we're in the midst of submitting college applications, so things are kind of stressful right now. But I don't know. I would say, like, a manageable amount of time goes into everything. Like I said, a little bit at a day, you chip away at it, and it's manageable. So.
Yeah. So, like, you mentioned time management and, college applications and everything, and it's that time of year. So how do you feel like you stay motivated in the face of, like, stress or anxiety? Like, because I understand that sometimes takes a toll on me and my ability to, like, focus on certain things when I need to.
Right.
So how do you feel that you've managed it with, like, all the experiences and, things that you've acquired over the years?
Like I said, I really try and figure out what my limits are. I don't want to push myself to the point where I can't return.
Definitely.
And I don't want to limp through life and not feel fulfilled and like I've done something. So I would say just even if you're stressed out, coexist with that stress. That stress, there could be so many different reasons that you're stressed out. Maybe because of your hormones, maybe because you have this thing that you haven't really thought about yet, because you're trying not to think about it. There's so many different reasons, but there is, what you have to do right now, and then there is just sulking in your feelings. Of course, it's really important to acknowledge your feelings, accept them, and try and, like, work through that. But also, you don't want to neglect what's important, because that's just going to make you feel even more stressed.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So I would say whatever negative or positive emotions you are feeling, try and acknowledge them and just coexist with them, So don't try and spread these emotions. Don't mix things up. If you're upset one day, don't put that on someone else, because these things are relevant. And I think learning to deal with those emotions in a healthy way and also a productive way is really important.
Yeah.
So the name of this podcast is Running Redwood. So as you're in your senior year and you're getting ready to move on to the next part of your life, what is the legacy you want to leave here at Redwood?
Ooh. Well, I hope with the little changes and improvements we put into the Middle Eastern Club, Generation Green, FBLA, I hope those little good habits continue on for years to come. I hope the community sees, or the Redwood community sees what we've done with our clubs and our organizations, and they take that and run with it. So I really hope we influence them positively like that.
Well, I mean, you already are, so
Yes.
you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
It's good.
Cool. I do have one more question, though. What are your plans after high school? Do you have any sort of idea for if you're going to college, majors, or career paths?
Well, I want to go into probably business administration with a minor in something because I really want to I want to hold like an executive position within a company. I think that's kind of my goal. That's just one of my goals outside of like a plethora of other things that may or may not correlate with school, but I want to go to a 4-year and then maybe like a post-grad program. So
Awesome. Is there anything to look out for FBLA, Middle Eastern Club?
Okay, well, October 16th, we are having an event at Rio Limpio, which is by the Tule River. We will be painting over some graffiti and just swimming in the river, cleaning up trash. It's a really, really great way to get in touch with nature and, you know, be an environmentalist. With FBLA, we have a meeting this Thursday, and then we have a guest speaker on Friday. Mr. Sanchez, he is the executive of global design at LinkedIn. So I highly recommend anyone who has any interest in the career world, please come to that meeting. It's Friday at lunch. And what else? Middle Eastern Club will probably be having a meeting next week. Just check out our Instagram, mech.redwood. And I think that's it for now.
Great.
Well, thank you so much, Donya, for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great advice. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye.